Hello everyone, welcome to Humane Entertainment. I'm Humane and I intend to entertain you. So, how's everyone doing today? Congratulations Starlight for being first and thank you for the cameo as well. So, welcome to the fourth entry of Ninja Gaiden for Beginners 2. So, Ninja Gaiden has this intimidating reputation. It's a very difficult franchise. The thing is though, it's mostly the case of a lack of knowledge from the player, not a pure issue of a player's level of skill. With Ninja Gaiden for Beginners, every Monday, I intend to play through the Modern Ninja Gaiden trilogies on the easiest difficulty, Hero Mode, and show step by step what you need to learn in order to properly understand how to play Ninja Gaiden. In today's case, it's Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. So I hope to break down that aura of dread that people have in starting these games. So, in this entry, we'll be going through chapters 8 to 10. So, with all being said, let's switch over to the game. Because this is a guide first and foremost, please ask questions about the gameplay mechanics if something is not clear. I want to answer anything that I didn't make clear enough, because there's a lot of things that are just naturally ingrained into me after decades of playing these games. Thus, I may have blind spots on stuff that isn't as intuitive to new players. So I hope everyone understands that. Alright, so let's see. Load game. Yeah, this should be the cleared save file. Yeah, so where we last left off, we fought against a bunch of werewolves and all that, and be led by a greater fiend called Wolf. Wolf was wielding a giant scythe, and well, now it's ours. Thing is, we are gonna have to hold off on the scythe for a little bit because we instead are going to play as Rachel for a chapter. So yeah, let's continue from there. Alright, chapter 8. City of the Fallen Goddess. The tranquility restored by Ryu's efforts is shattered by a reappearance of the archfiend of the underworld. A beautiful demon hunter, I wonder who, descends amidst the skyscrapers, stalking the foul creatures that now infest the city. Fighting her way through the endless hordes, she attempts to restore peace and order once again. Yeah, so last time I did talk about the four greater fiends, that being Alexei, Wolf, Zidonius, and Elizabeth, from this game. But do remember, these are the four greater fiends of Vazda. In Ninja Gaiden Sigma, we had three other greater fiends, that being Doku, Alma, and Marbus. So one of those three decides to return, of all things, here. So yeah, let's see.
My sworn enemy. Where is the dragon ninja?
It is funny how he just considers Ryu a sworn enemy now, even though in Ninja Gaiden Sigma he kept treating Ryu as if he's a pest rather than an actual sworn enemy. But I guess the moment Ryu actually defeated him, that's when he realizes, oh, I should actually take him seriously. He's my sworn enemy now.
This is going nowhere. Ryu never would have left a fiend behind. It's like they're swarming up out of the depths. What was that? Something's out there.
So it is kind of funny how they decided to have Rachel's return coincide with Marbus' return. So, anyway, let's see what weapons she have. Well, yeah, one melee weapon, one projectile weapon, and, well, it says Ninpo here, but technically she uses sorcery rather than Ninpo. Let's see, Inferno Hammer. It's a little bit different than the Warhammer that she had in Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Inferno Hammer, Rachel's favorite Warhammer, massive and powerful. I guess the previous Warhammer was not her favorite then. Alright, let's see what the details are of this one. A fearsomely powerful two-handed warhammer. It was fashioned by treating the head of an ancient warhammer with a graphene coating and fitting it with a new steel grip. Though powerful when swung normally, with added centrifugal force, it devastates anything unfortunately enough to be in its way. The head is forged from an exotic substance that rivals osmium for sheer density. Legend has it that it was formed when a molten piece of obsidian from a fiery inner circle of hell plunged into the river Cocytus, quenching and crystallizing it into its current form. I mean, okay, that's one way to create a powerful steel. All right. Then there's the Type 666 heavy machine gun. All right. An anti-fiend machine gun inscribed with special markings. Special markings. Interesting. All right. Rachel's favorite heavy machine gun. She's bringing all her favorites today, isn't she? Most would consider it unwieldy, but Rachel's slender arms are more than a match for this monster. Barrel and ammunition are stamped with an anti-demon icon called an Elder Sign. Oh, okay, Elder Sign, boosting its power when used against lower-level fiends. Designed for rapid fire, it utilizes a blowback system for low recoil. An elegant, uncompromising, superbly made firearms. So, yeah, Elder Sign. That means Cthulhu is canon to Ninja Gaiden. Anyway, the magic of Raging Aphrodite. So yeah, she actually switched over the sorcery that she had in Ninja Gaiden Sigma. In Ninja Gaiden Sigma, she used the Blade of Ouroboros. So yeah, yes. Let's just add some more Cthulhu stuff to all this. I mean, I have been playing Alone Dark Illumination, so maybe it's just a holdover from that. So. The magic of Raging Aphrodite, like I said, she did switch over from the Blade of Ouroboros that she had in the previous game. So let's see. A spell that eviscerates enemies with the thorns of deadly roses. All right. An ancient spell for summoning a rose from the underworld. The blood-loving roses from the hereafter spawn a whip of thorns that spins at breakneck speed, tearing nearby enemies to shreds. The demonic roses that dance above the carnage are described as being the crimson tears of the goddess Aphrodite in Tales of Old. So, okay, so Aphrodite is real too. So, yeah, okay. So, just bring all the religions together, why don't you? The religions and mythologies. All right. So, are there any items? No. Okay, so that should be it in terms of stuff for Rachel. All right. So yeah, when we were playing as Ryu, we end up here and we had to jump down that hole over there. Now we're gonna continue. But yeah, I did say that Ryu did get a scythe in the previous entry, which had an ultimate technique where you create a shockwave in front of you. Well. That's the funny thing. Rachel has that too. In fact, it's almost as if Rachel is created to be kind of a way for you to practice the scythe before even knowing that these are stuff from a scythe in the first place. So yeah, that's a cool little thing. So yeah. Because it's such a far shockwave kind of thing, yeah, do go ahead and charge in advance before an enemy gets there, and there's really not a lot they can do against that, really. Alright, so how about the Type 666 machine gun? Well, let's just say that Rachel probably has the best projectile weapon when it comes to damage, because, yeah, with the Elder Sign doing more damage against the lower level fiends, yeah, that's, they're not kidding. In fact, a lot of times, if you actually feel like you're not confident enough in your skills with melee weapons, honestly, as Rachel, do this. Yeah. Suddenly, this has become a third-person shooter. Just gonna show this again. Ah, yes. I guess the only problem would be that the enemies also have their projectile attacks, but yeah, really, they don't really stand much of a chance against you, do they? All right, but let's actually try to learn the combat here. So here's the funny thing about Rachel's attacks. you know how in with Ryu, there are attacks that you can cancel with the shuriken. That's by pressing the projectile weapon in the middle of combos. Well, Rachel essentially has that, but as additional attacks. So look, this is how it looks like if she just shoots normally. But here is XXX. Oh, XXX. Yeah. So that attack there, that will launch an enemy in the air, and then she will juggle the enemy in the air with this. You can even do XXXX there, and she will kind of jump over the enemy, and there, she will jump over the enemy and then shoot them from the back. So yeah, that makes Rachel pretty interesting in that she actually has combos that are more than just canceling with the projectile attacks. They're actually listed in the combo list. There, XXXB, XXXB. So that's pretty cool. In addition to all that, yeah, in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Rachel pretty much had the easiest Izuna drop type of thing, because that's just XXX. Wait, XXX. Yeah, 4 times. X 4 times. That's no longer the case here. However, she instead has it as XYY. So this is her Izuna drop instead, and that's still pretty easy compared to the usual Izuna drop that Ryu has. But I think what I like about how they changed Rachel's combo a little bit is that it creates consistency. Because now, almost every weapon that has an Izuna drop, it has XY as the thing that starts it. Like, that was not the case for Rachel. For Rachel in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, that was just X 4 times, which is not as consistent in terms of how the combo has been built compared to Ryu's things. Also, just like the Enma's Fang, well, Rachel's Warhammer or Inferno Hammer is a big weapon like the Enma's Fang, so that means that she is actually able to launch big enemies in the air, like... Oh, come on. There. Oh, no. Come on. Let me launch you. Of course, they never actually... There we go. So yeah, that's something you can do with Rachel's Inferno Hammer. Alright, but let's actually try to show the that Izuna drop thing, which has a name. Let's see. Viper Twist. Alright, yeah, so it's... so this is the Viper Twist. Oh, come on. There. So it's similar to how her... to how this throw attack looked in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, but it takes a lot less hits to do that. Like, just 2 before you can actually do the drop. Yeah, so even though with the Izuna drop I prefer not to use it too often during Ninja Gaiden for beginners, just in case people might think that it's too complicated. Honestly, I don't think this combo is that complicated at all, because that's just press X once and then just keep pressing Y, really. So X, here, I'm mashing Y right now, and that will eventually do it. Because even though it says press Y twice, there's nothing that happens if you press Y 3 times or 4 times, etc. So yeah, just press X once in order to do this attack, and then keep pressing Y. And that will do the Viper Twist. Here's the Herb of Spiritual Life if you need it. You might also notice that, yeah, compared to Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Rachel actually has after images now. Granted, that was a thing that's Sigma specifically removed. In Ninja Gaiden Black, Rachel did, or Ryu did have that blue after image that he also has in this game. But Rachel got introduced in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, so she never really had after images until now. Well, until Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, I guess. Okay, but let's show some of those combos with the machine gun. So, yeah, so like I said... Oh, no. X, X, X. There. So yeah, you can kind of juggle the enemy with the machine gun there. Oh. Alright, get over here. There. And there's also the one with... X 4 times. X, X, X. Oh. And also, just like in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Rachel does not have the ability to jump off an enemy's head. Instead, you dash into an enemy and she will roll over them like this. And just like in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, she gets on landing status from it, so you can just do the yeah, charge the ultimate technique after that. Come on, there we go. Also, something that Rachel has learned in the meantime, because in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, she did not have the ability to wall run. Hey, look at that. She has learned. Granted, she only has learned to wall run horizontally. She hasn't learned to wall run vertically yet, but hey, at least the horizontal one is there. Okay, so this next part is one of those usual elevator type of battles. Well, do consider these enemies arrive in waves anyway, so I just purposely waited for them there. But another thing you can also do is charge an ultimate technique before they even arrive. So let's... Okay, so... Yeah, I know an enemy is going to arrive soon anyway, so I'm just gonna charge in advance. Because where else am I gonna go? I might as well just charge it, you know? There, and... that would probably deal with at least one of them when they arrive. It's best to stick to the corners there, because usually when they do spawn kind of like in the middle of the elevator. Well, I say that and then suddenly this guy decides to be in the edge there, but still. Might as well point out that with Ryu, whenever he has projectiles in this game, there's one button for the bigger projectile weapon, like this one that I'm showing in the controls right now. Yeah, that's what Rachel is using right now. Whereas the B button would usually be the shuriken instead. With all the other playable characters other than Ryu, the B button is simply the exact same weapon as the one from the bumper instead, or from the triggers. If I think that's what is per default. So that is a little difference to keep in mind, that all these other characters like Momiji and Rachel and the third playable character that's going to appear in the next entry. Yeah, with all those characters, B and the bumper are essentially the same attack. Whereas for Ryu, B would be the shuriken, and the bumper would be either the Fiend's Bane bow or the Howling Cannon, whatever you have equipped. Yeah, so I guess we just had this pit stop over here. Oh, whoops! I accidentally used the sorcery, but I guess I might as well just show the sorcery there. Like I said, we know enemies are gonna arrive anyway, so might as well just charge up the ultimate technique in advance. Although I apparently kind of missed there, otherwise at least one of them should have lost a limb. No, sheesh. Well, that's it for the elevator, I guess. Okay, well, at least Rachel still has this grappling hook. Unfortunately, you can't really use the grappling hook in gameplay in this one, even though you could in Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Well, thankfully we do have Ninja Gaiden 4, where the grappling hook is something that we do get to use a lot more often. Also, of course, you had to do that superhero landing there. Oh, sheesh. Okay. Now, even though the X combo is no longer that Izuna drop-like attack that she had in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, it is still relatively useful in terms of taking a limb off an enemy. I say that, and then, yeah, there we go, there. It's still relatively consistent in getting the enemy ready to be obliterated with the obliteration technique, so there's that. Nope. But there's also the Y combo, which is what I just did. Yeah. This is Y 3 times. Pretty much her version of Ryu's Dragon Sword Y combo. Okay. Yeah, I think I already said this during the Momiji chapter, but yeah, Muramasa gave all the girls a discount, it turns out. Yeah, it's mostly because each of these girls only have like a single chapter anyway, so to make sure that you can possibly buy these items in the first place, he just decides to make all these things a lot cheaper than it is for Ryu. But yeah, I guess in universe I do kind of wonder, like, Muramasa, really? Is just because you are a pretty lady that suddenly gives you a discount? All right then. My recommendation, actually, if you are having trouble with the upcoming boss, which, I mean, we already know is going to be Marbus, but in the upcoming boss, if you are having trouble with him, I would actually recommend buying the Devil's Way mushroom so you can use more Ninpo. Because if you remember from Ninja Gaiden Sigma, boy does Marbus love to send minions against you. And, well, that is what makes Rachel's sorcery pretty useful. So, yeah. That's my recommendation there. Now, obviously, it is possible to beat Marbus without using sorcery. But I am not doing these Ninja Gaiden for beginners to teach you to be like a pro player of this game so much as just allowing you to learn the basics, which is why we are on hero difficulty in the first place. Yeah, I did say that Rachel learned how to do the wall run. They specifically put this part here just to show that off, like that she has learned the wall run even. Like, ooh, look, she can do it now. Alright, so, nah, this definitely doesn't look like a boss arena or anything.
You have fiend blood in your veins. Are you searching for the Dragon Ninja as well?
Maybe I am.
Somehow, I suspect we have different reasons for seeking him out.
It doesn't matter. You'll never find him. Now go back to the underworld where you belong.
A fragile little doll, trying to take on a greater fiend. Very well. Show me what you can do.
Okay, so again, when it comes to the minions, my recommendation actually is, if you are not going to use sorcery, to instead use that Viper twist that I was talking about. There, it is pretty much the easiest way to kill the enemies while staying out of, relatively staying out of harm's way. Now the thing is, Rachel is not the only one who has learned some new tricks, because it turns out that Marbus has also learned how to charge his attacks with essence like Ryu does. So it's almost like he has been unable to actually let go of Ryu beating him, and thus now he's starting to learn things that Ryu has done to beat him in the first place. That said, his patterns are relatively the same as when Ryu fought against him in Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Still, with every boss, I keep saying, learn the patterns first. Observe, and then see what kind of attacks the boss has. And then once you feel like you actually understand how all these attacks work, then start attacking. Like, I could have attacked him right there, but when it comes to beginners, don't focus on beating them first. Focus first on learning how the patterns work with these moves. Because Marbus also actually kinda switched up his patterns a little bit compared to Ninja Gaiden Sigma. For example, let's see if he does it here. Oh. Oh, no. Come on. Nope. I just wanna... Okay, so... No, come on. I'd like you to do a little stomp attack, please. Can I request you to do a stomp attack? Of course not. Alright. Okay, maybe I'll just add... try to damage him a little bit before he... Oh, there we go. Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, okay, so that stomp is essentially the same as the stomp that he did in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, which is, well, just a stomp. The thing is, he can actually switch the attack a little bit, making it so that... There. It becomes... It looks like a stomp at first, but then he actually tackles forward. So making it so that you would think you are in range to attack him after the stomp, and instead he just tackles you immediately afterwards. So that is something to keep in mind, that Marbus has switched up his tactics a little bit. Still, like I said, if the minions are being a bit of a problem, just use the use the sorcery. That's a good way to, at the very least, get some distance. And if not distance, it might just kill them all. Still, okay, what? Yeah, watch that. He actually absorbed the essence in order to do his own version of the ultimate technique. That's why I said that he actually learned after the fight against Ryu, because that's not something that he could have done in Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Nope. There. It looked like a stomp, but actually he does a tackle afterwards. This time it actually was a proper stomp, so. Okay, so yeah, we are in hero mode now because we are at critical health. So, again, if you are having trouble with this game, just switch to hero difficulty and try to beat it first. Then you can try to do normal difficulty or anything else, because, yeah, just watch how I'm not even pushing anything and Rachel is just dodging everything. Still, I would still say don't be too over reliant on this. You can always still heal over the threshold of the hero mode and just continue from there. In fact, this stream is where I will do a little test of something in terms of the hero mode, because there's something that I actually am not certain about, and I would actually like to test that out. So I will say so when the test does arrive. Is that what you were talking about earlier with me? No, I think it's no. It's something else.
Night has lifted. Dawn has come.
Are you still gonna show which fights you can skip? Right. I guess I forgot about that. All right. So yeah. Yeah. There were probably. Well, let's just say that a lot of the fights of Rachel you could not skip. So, but I will actually show that in the next few chapters. I'm gonna try to show which fights you can skip, in fact. So, yeah, in fact, a lot of fights you can actually skip, but still, it's nice to just show it. Either way, we are returning to Ryu here. Chapter 9, the Flying Fortress Daedalus. The fanged fortress of the wolf beast toppled. Yes, thank you. Ryu and Sonia leave his twisted arena behind, taking to the skies in search of Elizabeth. Ever northward, she is carried on wings of darkness, borne through the skies by the Flying Fortress Daedalus. She must be stopped, but the army of Genshin, sworn enemy of the Hayabusa clan, stands between Ryu and his quarry. Okay, here's a funny thing about this chapter. I kind of consider this, yeah, I know it's Sonia here, but it's actually Irene. I consider this Ryu and Irene's first date. Now, why is that? Well, in chapter 1, it was mostly a case of Sonia got kidnapped, and Ryu is there and he has to rescue her. Okay, so that's not so much something they set up to do, you know? And in chapter 3, chapter 4, that was the case of Ryu was just fighting against this boss, and then suddenly Sonia arrives to pick him up and bring him to the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so that, again, that's not something that Ryu planned in advance. So, okay, so that's just her arriving to help out. And that essentially happened again in chapter 7, where Ryu was fighting all those werewolves, and then Sonia arrives to shoot down those werewolves and give him a getaway. This mission very much is them planning, like, okay, both of us, we have to work on destroying this flying fortress Daedalus. So with that in mind, yeah, I consider this their first mission, aka their first date.
I'm bringing us in.
That's definitely one way to land on a flying fortress. Alright, so yeah, last stream we did end by getting this Eclipse Scythe from Wolf. So I will try to show stuff about this new weapon. Might as well just read a little bit. A giant scythe handed down in the lycanthrope tribe of fiends. So it's interesting how there are different tribes of fiends, and that actually explains why some of them look like werewolves and some of them look like more vampiric things. So yeah, there's just different tribes, it turns out. All right, anyway, details. This gigantic scythe has long been a prized weapon among the lycanthrope tribe of fiends. Inspired by the natural phenomenon of the solar eclipse, it was born from an ancient rite of sacrifice. When a king of an ancient lycanthrope tribe was overthrown, his body was tossed into a vat of molten wood steel, also known as Damascus steel. For those who don't know about Damascus, yeah, there's always a little pattern in the steel if you actually do use Damascus steel, which, yeah, it's pretty cool looking, from which the scythe was forged. After being hammered into shape, the blade was quenched by repeatedly plunging it into the flesh of living humans. I don't know if that's the most efficient way to do that, but okay. It is said that it took a full 9 days for the scythe to cool completely. Yeah, again, I don't know if that's the most efficient way to quench a blade like that. One would think that the characteristic Damascus steel patterning would be visible on the scythe's surface, but for whatever reason, no such texture is found. Okay, that's actually a funny thing. Yeah, so right now, at level 1, the Damascus steel pattern does not show. The more we level up, the more the pattern actually shows up, it turns out. So yeah, that's a cool little detail about the Eclipse Scythe. Alright. Anyway, yeah. We have all these turrets. This is where the good old trusty Fiend's Bane bow is gonna be your go-to to get rid of these turrets. And also, yeah, there's the auto aim, so you don't really need to aim that much so much as just press the aim thing. Oh no! Is Irene gonna die? I mean, how does that work with the canon of the NES Ninja Gaidens? Anyway. So, like I did say with the ultimate technique of Rachel, yeah, Ryu's Eclipse Scythe ultimate technique is essentially the same kind of thing there. Oh, come on. There. Creates a distant shockwave. Yeah, it only creates a shockwave at level 2, at the full charge of the ultimate technique. Still, just because it is kind of a projectile type of ultimate technique, that still doesn't mean it's not. Yeah, that still doesn't mean that it is low damage. It actually is pretty damaging. It was able to beat those enemies pretty easily. That said, if you are having trouble with those enemies in particular, you can just kind of take cover for a bit and using these doors to charge up an ultimate technique. Alright, the switch does not respond. Alright, well. So, like I kept pointing out, my recommendation is in fact to level up the weapons to level 2 first, before you actually start leveling up any of the other weapons to level 3, unless you are certain that you are going to main a certain weapon. That said, we do have all the weapons now. That means that the moment I do upgrade this Eclipse Scythe to level 2, that's pretty much my own personal permission to start leveling weapons to level 3, in fact. But I might as well just point out what the Eclipse Scythe is like at level 1. Let's see. Nah, I think I'm just gonna upgrade to level 2 and just stick to that. Honestly, most likely, once you get here, you would have enough essence to at least level up the Eclipse Scythe to level 2, if necessary, so... There, like I said, the Damascus steel pattern actually does show up a little bit more the more you level up the Eclipse Scythe. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so at level 2, you gain a... Ooh, nice, yeah. So at level 2, you do gain this combo over here, the Death's Gate, which is pressing forward after the third X attack. So here's just the X attacks on its own. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think, was it 4? 5. Right, so it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I see. Okay, but yeah, with 1, 2, 3, then pressing forward X. Yeah, that kind of does an Izuna drop kind of thing. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I kept saying this thing about the consistency with XY. Yeah, Eclipse Scythe is kind of the special one, I guess. The Eclipse Scythe does not have a regular Izuna drop. Like every other weapon, here, I'm just going to show, XY. There we go. That brings you up in the air to do an Izuna drop. If you're going to flail, XY. Yeah, it gets you in the air for an Izuna drop. Even the Enma's Fang, which is like a big weapon, that's still XY. Gets you in the air. The Tonfa, XY. Drag's Claw Tiger's Fang, XY. So, Kusarigama, that would be the other special one. That's actually more so like the Scythe, where XY would not be the Izuna drop thing. That's because the Kusarigama and the Eclipse Scythe are like the two oddballs, I guess, that doesn't have a regular Izuna drop. Still, Falcon's Talons, that's also, yeah, XY to get in the air. And the Lunar Staff, XY, which funnily enough, in the Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden, Lunar would also be part of those, part of the oddballs that doesn't have XY in order to actually get in the air. Yeah, this attack here used to be this. Yeah, so it used to be X forward X and then Y. X forward X Y. This is what it was in the Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden 2, that is. But Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 added this combo, which is X Y. So yeah, that's a little thing that they did change in terms of the combat. But yeah, usually the consistency is that XY would be the button combination in order to do an uppercut. That is, again, something that the Kusarigama doesn't do, and the Eclipse Scythe doesn't do. It doesn't get you in the air. Instead, you have different attacks that are more like the Izuna drops, but they would be alternatives rather than the regular Izuna drop. So here I'm gonna see if I can actually show that of the Eclipse Scythe. Oh. Oh. Or maybe it doesn't have that. Oh yeah, hold when hitting enemy. Okay, no, okay, it's a River 6 drop that I was thinking of, but that necessitates level 3. So yeah, I guess we just don't have an actual drop yet. We do have the Shadow Banisher, which is holding X when hitting enemy after the 5th strike. So there, this one. It's more so just lodging the enemy into the scythe and then just dropping that enemy on the ground. You can also press Y after that in order to just launch them in the air afterwards. So, oh, come on. Yeah. At the very least, the XY, you can just end it with another Y attack afterwards, which still a pretty powerful move. Alright, Jewel of Demon Seal. Permanently increase the level of Ninpo spell. Yeah, so... okay, so we already have the Art of Windblades at level 3, which is my recommendation because that is when the Art of Windblades really does shine as a crowd clearer. What are we gonna upgrade next? Because I did say that the Art of Flame Phoenix, I would usually upgrade that last because that's the one that I don't need personally. But yeah, okay, so either the Art of the Inferno or the Art of Piercing Void. Again, the difference is Art of Inferno, every level adds another fireball. So if you just want to damage 3 enemies in particular, I would say use the Art of the Inferno. Whereas the Art of Piercing Void, that damages a single enemy, so that's better for bosses. I would say right now it would probably be better to upgrade the Art of Piercing Void, but honestly it does not matter as much whether you are gonna upgrade the Piercing Void or the Inferno right now. Still, I'm just gonna go for Piercing Void. Okay, you know what, Ryu, you mind cleaning that up, please? Thank you. Okay, do keep this in mind here. There's this hole that leads to that room over there. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Oh yeah, again, it's just essence now. That's because I have a full inventory. If you don't have a full inventory, you might just instead get the actual item instead. I guess both of these would have been items then. All right. Yeah, so with all those combos of the Eclipse Scythe, I would say that... hello, Lamproud Alpaca. Yeah, so in the previous stream we did end with this scythe that we got from Volv, so might as well just actually show a little bit more of it. Yes, hi Lam. So the thing is that the Eclipse Scythe does not have a regular Izuna drop type of thing. Like every other weapon, usually XY would send the enemy in the air so you can do an actual Izuna drop like this. Whereas with the Eclipse Scythe, XY will launch the enemy in the air, but not Ryu. There. So, if you actually want the, I guess, the drop attack of the Eclipse Scythe, you're gonna need to actually upgrade the Eclipse Scythe to level 3, in fact. Also, Lan, you unfortunately missed the chapter of Rachel where she actually used the Type 666 machine gun, which literally had the Elder sign on it, meaning that Cthulhu is actually canon to Ninja Gaiden. So there you go. Anyway, if you just skip over that door and instead just go this way, that's where this Lively Gods is. So do keep that in mind. And again, if you want, you can just kind of use this as a cover and then just charge an ultimate technique. There we go. Wow, hopefully Rachel wasn't alone in the dark. I mean, I guess she was alone. I would say, actually, I might as well just point out, Rachel in Ninja Gaiden Sigma lost against Doku. But here she was able to beat Marbus, who is the third greater fiend of Vigor, who should be at the same level as Doku. So Rachel has gotten strong enough to actually essentially beat a Doku level greater fiend. So that's pretty good of her. Alright, so this mech soldier here. Okay, I guess maybe I shouldn't have beaten him so quickly, because, yeah, I just used the ultimate technique to immediately take off a limb, and you can just defeat him immediately with an obliteration technique. Fortunately, we will see more mech soldiers. I mean, you see more mech soldiers in stasis here. So yeah, don't worry, we will see more of them, so we can actually properly show them. Okay, so if you do try to interact with this thing, these are the controls for the flight management systems. Destroying them would help bring down a ship. Ah, okay, so that's actually a little clue on what you were supposed to do in the Xbox 360 version of the game, where you actually do have the mission here to destroy all the control panels and all that. Let's just say there's no need to actually think about that right now in this version, because if you defeat all these enemies,
Central control room compromised.
it just is compromised just as is, I guess. So yeah.
Flight systems to autopilot.
Again,
Got to get our flight profile stabilized. Control switched. Aircraft is under automatic control.
okay, yeah, it's on automatic control.
Nominal to profile.
Yeah.
Screen.
So yeah.
Nominal, we are on course.
So I'm not saying that this was like the biggest brain teaser or anything, but I just liked how in the Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden game, it felt like it was your actions that led to the destruction of everything. Whereas this, it's more like, oh, you just beat these enemies and suddenly, oh yeah, I guess the controls have been destroyed. But I'm like, no, I want to be the one that actually destroyed the thing. So yeah, the controls are all locked on autopilot. That said, if you did not have the crystal skulls, here is where you would find the crystal skull. That's your little reward if you actually destroyed this this control panel. All right, so I did talk about those mech soldiers. Here's the mech soldiers. So the thing with the mech soldiers is they are essentially those Van Gelf fiends on steroids. I guess on mechanical steroids, you could say. So my recommendation on beating them, well, first of all, what I did against the previous one, use an ultimate technique, which at the very least has a chance to simply take off a limb, so you can just do an obliteration technique against it. But like always, the Ikaruga combo of the Dragon Sword, which is XXY, is still pretty reliable in terms of taking off a limb anyway, so... Oh. Come on. Sheesh. Okay, I took off a limb from this guy. There we go. So. They are obviously not working with me. There we go. There we go. Yeah, like I said, the Ikaruga combo is still a pretty reliable combo to use against enemies, to take off a limb and then immediately do the obliteration technique after them. After Eclipse Sight, well, there's something interesting about the Eclipse Sight. Because it doesn't have an actual Izune drop combo, it still has a proper aerial combo though, which is XXY while in the air. And it actually gets you pretty high in the air, actually, and makes it so that enemies would usually have trouble actually hitting you while you do so. In fact, back in the Xbox 360 version of Ninja Gaiden 2, this would have been the overpowered combo, in fact. They did nerf it in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 and in this version of Ninja Gaiden 2 by just making it do a lot less damage. Still, this used to be the boss killer, in fact. Yeah, so jump, X, X, Y. Jump, jump, X, X, Y. There. Now, question for the chat. Is this the kind of game you would play? You know, besides the Eclipse Scythe, we also did get the Kusarigama. How about we show that again too? Because yeah, I also did say that the Kusarigama also is like the weird one out where XY also does not lead to an Izuna drop. Instead, it just launches the enemy in the air, but not Ryu himself. Well, if you press Y afterwards, yeah, it's not an Izuna drop, but it is at least an attack that follows after the enemy afterwards. As for the actual drop move of the Kusarigama, well, that is for level 3 Kusarigama, which I guess that's a similar thing between the Kusarigama and the Scythe, that both of them necessitate level 3 in order to actually have a proper drop attack. But yeah, here's another Life of the Gods. Yeah, do keep in mind that the moment you enter this place over here, I like the logo of the Black Spider clan here, but yeah. Once you reach this place, you might go either left or right. If you actually go to the right, it is possible that you would actually miss this Life of the Gods over here. Because, yeah, you might have just accidentally gotten through that. Passed by it. So, I did talk about that boss killer move of the Eclipse Scythe, which is jumping X, X, Y. So the Kusarigama has like a very weird aerial combo, actually, because the rule is that usually there would not be an X attack after a Y attack. Like the only reason why it does it is the case for stuff like the Izuna drop is because, again, XY is technically the actual combo, and the XXXY afterwards, that is just because you are in the air as a result. There. So yeah, that's XY, XXXY. Whereas with the Kusarigama is kind of going to break the rule a little bit. Because, let's see. While jumping. Yeah, so 100 flames while jumping, Y, and then X 2 times. Yeah, this breaks the rule a little bit, but the thing is, this does a lot of damage. Like you first press Y, and usually a Y attack in the air would get you back on the ground, but that's not the case for the Kusarigama. So instead, you can just press X afterwards again. Yeah. And granted, you can either press Y, Y, X, Y, or Y, X, X. Either of them would end up with the same thing, but just remember that this combo is also kind of the boss killer kind of combo, as in it does a lot of damage, and it also keeps you relatively safe in the air for a bit as you do so. Oh boy, the lasers. Alright, so here's the funny thing about the lasers. Okay, so first of all, obviously these lasers block your path, so you can't really pass by this thing right now. Funny thing is, though, you might have noticed, you can block the lasers, which I don't know if that makes sense, but if you were talking about stuff not making sense, well, if you can block something, that means you can counter it, which means that if there are enemies around and you block this laser, you can invoke a counterattack. There. I'm not even timing the counterattack here. It's mostly just a case of Ryu realizes, oh, I am technically in the counter frame while I am blocking this laser. So yeah, sure, I'll do the counterattack. So yeah, here you go, here's the counterattack. Same case with the Vigorian Flail. There, I'll just keep 1-inch punching these lasers, I guess. Here's the Animus Fang. So it's a funny little quirk between the for the game there. And oh yeah, now we have activated hero mode. Oh. Hero mode just makes you completely invincible to the lasers. It doesn't even show you being yeah, it doesn't even make you block it even. It just makes you invincible to the lasers. That's interesting. All right. Yeah, so this is not going to be the only test I'm going to do with the hero mode. I actually have another test in mind for hero mode in the next chapter, in fact. But yeah, it is interesting how that was a thing. Also, yeah, I just realized I keep forgetting to actually show which fights you could skip and which fights you can't skip. Yeah, so let's just backtrack a little bit. Okay, I guess we can backtrack there. With the control panel, that you could not skip. The mech soldier you could not skip either. I think it was possible that when we got here for the first time, we were able to skip that fight to just immediately get over here, but then we could not actually continue because of this laser, which means we just went over here instead. But even so, you can't just skip the fights as I am showing right now. So yeah, that's goes to show that these you do not have to do all these fights if you know which fights you can skip. And do keep in mind that Ryu is such a fast character that honestly the enemies will kind of have trouble actually keeping up with you. Well, I hope not.
Increased code orange. This is not a drill. All TAC teams, you are clear weapons free. Use of explosives authorized.
Oh.
Terminate the intruder with extreme prejudice.
All right. That might be a little bit worrisome. Anyway, yeah. So back in Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden, this would have been a moment where you are expected to actually destroy this reactor yourself. Yeah, like you're the one damaging this reactor, so that this would happen in the first place. But again, in this game, they decided that just beat all these enemies and that will just happen on its own. You know. Looks like the reactor has begun to overload. Yeah, would have been nice if it was your action that did it, wouldn't it, Ryu? Anyway, they did say explosives are authorized. That means that they start using bazookas now. But at the very least, that does take care of those lasers here, so we can move forward from here.
A total of 2 intruders detected on board. They are armed and considered extremely dangerous. It's time to take the fight to them. They want war, they get war.
This operator's pretty dramatic, isn't he? All right. Yeah, also, in this store over here, you can go to Muramasa. But all right, so we have leveled up all the weapons to level 2. So yeah, I would say I think it's pretty fair to actually start upgrading to level 3 now. My recommendations actually would be either Eclipse Scythe or the Kusarigama. And in my case, I have enough money to actually upgrade both of them. So yeah, I'm just gonna upgrade the Eclipse Scythe first. Yet again, the Damascus steel pattern actually gets even more visible now. That's a pretty cool little detail there. But yeah, here's Eclipse Scythe at level 3, and here's Kusarigama at level 3. I guess Muramasa just decided to pour gold over it. All right. Okay, so with Eclipse Scythe at level 3, now I can actually show the Eclipse Scythe's Izuna drop, or the River Styx drop. Let's see. Okay, so remember the XXX fourth XXX attack? Well, if you actually press Y instead of the last X, that will end up being the River Styx drop. So let's see how that looks. There. Oh, sheesh. Yeah. You can also do a shorter version of that by just pressing forward Y, because forward Y will just do exactly the, well, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that will just ground them afterwards. And then you can launch them in the air, so you can then press XY to do the River 6 drop. So let's see if I can do it against the next enemy. Yeah. Okay, so... yeah. There. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's the River 6 drop of the Eclipse Scythe, which you can only do from level... yeah, when it's level 3. As for the Kusarigama, actually, this would be more similar to Rachel's drop attack in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, because that essentially is just pressing X to reach it. So... nope. Or was it... no? Let's see. Oh, forward X. Okay, so X. Okay, so it's X, 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 forward X. So, yeah, let's see. There. There. So yeah, it's a kind of an interesting drop attack because you are not actually launching the enemy in the air so much as you grab them on the ground and then Ryu jumps into the air. That's a kind of an interesting little variation on that with Kusarigama. Oh, Yogenta's notebook. March 23rd. I heard that Master Genshin will take the lead in today's attack. My resolve is thus strengthened. It is time for the hated dragon ninja to pay for the humiliation he has caused us. Joe Hayabusa, you will die. Yeah, I do kind of... well, I do like that little... how you call that? I don't know, it makes you think that he was talking about Ryu, in fact. But apparently Yogenta is actually kind of an old school Black Spider Ninja and would actually consider Joe Hayabusa the Dragon Ninja instead. So yeah, see, he's like that hated Dragon Ninja will pay for the humiliation he has caused us. Joe Hayabusa, you will die. And then in the next entry, March 24th, who's Ryu Hayabusa? Joe's son? His father may have been strong enough in his day, but I think that such a stripling could be a Dragon Ninja is simply laughable. So yeah, Yogenta is clearly the old school one who apparently is not even informed about Ryu, so there you go. March 31st. The fearsome Rosetsu and the powerful Gyuki of the Dark Sect have both been slain. Yeah, so that would be the spider-like fiends that we have fought in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. If he defeated those monsters, then that young Ryu, evil as he is, must be worthy of the title of Dragon Ninja. The Dark Sect do the bidding of the Black Spider clan, cloaked in shadow. Could it be that they aren't as fearsome as they look? No, I doubt that. They are born and bred berserkers. Did the young ninja just get lucky? He's just kind of in denial about Ryu being the badass that he is, I guess. April 11th. Apparently the tactical ninja teams that were deployed to the capital have all been executed. Serves them right for relying on firearms. So yeah, not only is he old school with the previous generation and all that, apparently he's also very old school as in, oh, we should not use guns. April 22nd. I have received word that Koshimaru has perished. I find it hard to believe that he, possessor of the inner eye, could fall so easily. Although he was a man of logic, it seems now that his talk of the inner eye was just a stack of unproven theories. I, Yogenta, shall show my comrades what it is to be a true ninja of the Black Spider clan. Alright, so yeah, we will hear more about Koshimaru and his inner eye. April 23rd. I failed you, my brethren. Goodbye. May the Black Spider clan flourish for eternity. Oh, okay, so yeah, I think he might have just committed suicide, so that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, just listen to this operator here as this is going on.
Explosives detected. One of the hostiles has an RPG. I'm going to try to get a closer look on the cameras. Let's see. It's a woman. A woman. Alert all attack teams.
All right, so that's his opinion on that. Irene is hot. There you go. He found that important enough to actually report to everybody. Okay, so again with the Kusarigama, as I have pointed out in the previous entry, the Y combo has so much range that a lot of times you will just hit the enemies before they can even get in range to attack you. So if you want an attack that is pretty overpowered in terms of reach and all that, that would be the Kusarigama's Y combo. In fact, if you actually wanted to destroy all these computers as you were meant to do, you can use the Kusarigama for that, because the amount of reach that it has. But again, that's no longer a thing that you need to do in this one. Alright, lives 1,000 got, so at least we get an upgrade for the health bar there. Oh, that fight over there, we could not have actually skipped that, because the enemies would shoot you before you can actually get to the top with the ladder. So that would not be a skippable fight. This fight, I think, would also not be a skippable fight, because you actually have to beat all these enemies for this door to open. So, yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, those who have, let's see, those who are players of Mortal Kombat, Ryu kind of has Scorpion's get over here move. Granted, you first have to do a 360 Y attack, this, and then you press X, so... there. Let's see if I can actually do it a little bit further away. Come on. Get over here. You even cut off a limb afterwards. Get over here. Yeah, and if they actually have lost a leg, the combo changes to Ryu cutting off the head instead. So that's a nice little detail how it starts with just cutting off a leg. Oh, dang. Yeah, it starts with cutting off a leg, but if you use it against an enemy that already has lost a leg, then Ryu will cut off the head instead. Alright, so, first of all, we can save over here. Do notice... Oh, it seems like there would have been something here, isn't it? Yeah, in the Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden, that would have been another portal to the Test of Valor, which would be a kind of survival thing. Of course, they removed that, so... Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, I did say, remember that little room that I pointed to? Yeah, this is that room. We have actually kind of gone in circles for a bit. Yeah, just remember that that's how we got into the, yeah, that's where we got in. And then we went that way. And now we are circling back because this door over here is opened, and yeah, there we go. We are back here at where we started. And here is where a crystal skull would be. So do take note of that. Okay, at least this elevator actually works now. So they really do not want Ryu to be down in the elevator there for some reason. I wonder why. Which only makes it so that we kind of want to go down there now. Did I actually read the chapter thing of this chap? Yeah, did I read the chapter description? That let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to find a save, and then I will restart the chapter, or just do continue again so I can actually look at the chapter description again. Because, that...
Temperature rising. Damn it, we have a coolant leak. Biotech teams, get on it. Expect high temperatures and noxious gases in adjacent holes.
Okay, actually, maybe I did read it. I'm not sure anymore. But, yeah, they did say that this flying fortress, the Daedalus flying fortress, is armadillo-powered? What's that? Well, this is, in fact, the armadillo. Like it's a giant fiend armadillo, a giant fire fiend armadillo. And that is apparently what is fueling this flying fortress. And... that is why that operator does not want Ryu to be here, in case Ryu would actually destroy this armadillo. Granted, Ryu right now does not actually know that this armadillo is essentially fueling this thing. But yeah. Yeah, but these turrets just use the arrows in order to destroy them. Or if you actually want to use the Howling Cannon, you could have used the Howling Cannon as well. I still prefer the bow, honestly. Okay, let's see. Also, I think no, it's on the other side. Yeah, on the other side, you can also get a good view of the Black Spider's logo. Granted, you see a version of Black Spider's logo here. Warning, warning. Armadillos can be pretty mighty. Yeah, you could say that. All right, so we are in the left wing right now. Okay, so those enemies over there, they were very much in a straight line. So either I would recommend actually using the Eclipse Scythe, or since I do have the Art of the Piercing Void right now, you can just use one single fireball that just pierces right through everybody. Okay, if I aimed a little bit better, I probably would have actually hit everybody. But yeah, that's one way you could have gotten through that fight a little bit better than how I did. Yeah, again, okay, so this time limit that this operator is giving right now, 40 seconds. Oh no, do we have enough time? Honestly, the moment you reach there, that's already at the end of it. So yeah, clearly we had a lot of time to actually reach that. And even so, this was actually a fight we could have skipped, in fact, which meant that we could have reached this before he even starts countdown, if we actually just skipped over everything. Again, Ryu is a very fast character in terms of character action games, and the enemies barely have a chance to actually reach his speed. So if you actually did not want to fight them, you could have just ran past them, in fact. Well, I say ran past him. It's more so just dash, jump, because that is pretty much how I keep moving around. All right. Yeah. Again, they very much stress the importance of this armadillo here. So yeah, we were in the left wing. We are now heading for the right wing instead now, because we went over this bridge over here. Also, Ryu has something to say here. The port engine nacelles have been jettisoned. There's no turning back now. All right. All right, so here's my little headcanon over here. I think this is the moment when Ryu fell in love. Just notice how Ryu actually was distracted by her.
Be careful with that. We don't want to bring her down quite yet.
Trust me.
Yes, indeed.
Someone kill that damn ninja.
Calm yourself, Elizabeth. I will handle this.
Like, consider how focused Ryu is all the time, and this is like that one moment where it actually looks like Ryu, pay attention. So yeah. So yeah, I also like this little detail. Ryu has not been in this room, but this reactor has also been damaged beyond repair, which goes to show that everything that Ryu has been doing on the other side of this flying fortress, Sonya has done the same as well. Like, granted with a bazooka rather than with a sword, but yeah, it is such a cool way to show that they are very much working together here. Like, Ryu was just destroying that that one half of the ship, and here's Sonya Irene destroying the other half. I just think that's such a cool little detail here in this chapter. But yeah, here we are at the right wing. It is it's all mirror image from yeah, mirroring each other. All right, so we do have enough money to at least fully upgrade one other weapon. My recommendation of which weapon to upgrade to level 3 after the Eclipse Scythe and the Kusarigama would actually be the Lunar Staff. So I will not use the Lunar Staff against the next boss because I do feel like it's only more appropriate to actually use the Dragon Sword against the next boss. Still, might as well just show what the Lunar Staff has, because it's no longer golden. That's odd that it goes from golden to more steel-like. But what makes the Lunar Staff at level 3 quite a powerful upgrade is that, well, it's more than just a staff now. It's a staff with chains now. So, yeah, some attacks... Oh, wait, come on. Come on. Yeah, the ends will actually swing around now. So it's a bow staff with chains at the end. Cool. Yeah. So if you actually do this combo, which is, let's see, X forward Y. Yep. So or X forward Y and then X. Yeah, that's pretty much the combo that pretty much shows off this whole chain thing. So X forward Y. No, actually, the one I had in mind is Y, Y, Y. There. It just swings all over the place here. So X, Y, 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 Y. So yeah, X forward Y. I said Y, but you actually press forward with the Y. So yeah, I just think that's pretty cool. Still, I would say for the next boss battle, I prefer to use the Dragon Sword. Not necessarily because it's the most useful weapon, but I do feel like it's only dramatically appropriate. Anyway, here's a good view of the Black Spider's logo there. I do like how the glow of the armadillo is just enveloping this entire fight.
Young blood, how many times will you stand in our way?
2 or 3 more times. Well, 2 more times in this game in particular. Alright, so, back when we fought with Genshin in Chapter 2, alright, so, back when we fought against Genshin in Chapter 2, this Genshin had less moves. Let's just say that it's almost as if Genshin has leveled up in the meantime as well. Still, the same type of advice for every boss still stands. Instead of immediately attacking him, just check what moves he has, because the moves that he has are still relatively similar to the moves that you have, in fact. Like, that actually looked like the charge attack that you would do, yeah, like this. And that looked like the Flying Swallow. There, he did the Flying Swallow yet again. So while you are fighting all these other enemies, just consider, when did the enemies ever get the chance to actually hit you? Well, usually that would be right after one of your attacks because you missed or something, right? Well, that's pretty much the same kind of logic you have to give to Genshin. Question for the chat: were you aware of this game for this stream? In terms of which combos to use, well, the Ikaruga combo is still pretty much the reliable go-to attack. You also have the Y combo, so Y, Y, Y. So yeah, that still does a lot of damage against Genshin. So yeah. Okay, something to keep in mind though, that whenever Genshin does do that little backflip, that he usually does the dash thing, the dash attack afterwards, which is kind of similar to when you jump away from an enemy and then use the on landing attack. So yeah, again, a lot of things that Genshin does against you, they're very similar to what you can do. Also, that ninpo that he's using, well, that is the same ninpo that... yeah, the Art of Piercing Point. So it's... anytime that I do fight with Genshin, I like to actually use the Dragon Sword and the Art of Piercing Void, because I feel like that's probably what Ryu canonically used against Genshin, just to make this whole mirror thing between them stand out more. When fighting Genshin, it's mostly just a case of just identify which moves he uses and learn when to counter each of them. Cool. There we go. But that's not the end of this chapter yet, in fact, because turns out Genshin is just boss number 1 in this chapter. I do like, in terms of visual storytelling, notice that Genshin is not breathing as heavily as Ryu does, which does show that right now Genshin still is more powerful than Ryu. Again, there's no dialogue or anything, it's just kind of showing just through actions.
Ryu, we're going down.
Altitude dropping. Recovery impossible.
Well, there goes the operator. So long, operator. You were a dramatic little shit. Also, I'd love to think about how Ryu learned to use a motorcycle in the first place. Like, he's been living in the Hayabusa village all this time. Where did he ever get the chance to actually learn to use a motorcycle? I'd love to learn that. Well, so long, motorcycle. Anyway, I kept talking about the armadillo, right? This armadillo does look mighty indeed. Okay. So, like always, when you face a boss for the first time, I would recommend studying the boss first. I will equip the Kusarigama already here. Actually, yeah, while I do show, yeah, I'm gonna show off the moves of this armadillo in the meantime, which is relatively slow but very damaging. That's kind of the general gist of this armadillo. However, there was in the Xbox 360 version, there was a fun little setup and payoff here, because throughout the entire chapter, the operator kept saying, be careful not to use explosives, and then he got desperate and said, all right, explosives are permitted and all that. But clearly he's very reluctant about that, which goes to show that you really do not want explosions close to this armadillo. Well, that's what the incendiary shurikens would have been would have been the answer to this armadillo, because if you use the incendiary shurikens against him, that would do a lot of damage against him, which, yeah, is just a good way to just mix the storytelling of the dialogues with actual gameplay, because it actually reinforces. Yeah, they clearly did not want explosives next to this guy. So why aren't I using incendiary shurikens? Because they removed incendiary shurikens in this game. So anyway, instead, we are going to use the Kusarigama, because I did talk about that boss killer move, right? Well, when it comes to boss killing, this is like the boss to kill with the Kusarigama. Just, there we go, look at that. Yeah, so Y, X, Y. There. I killed the boss. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said this was the boss killer move. Anyway, when he explodes, it doesn't make much sense, but you do have to block it. Like, you can actually get damaged and die from that explosion. So yeah, do keep block after defeating that armadillo. Fortunately, Sonia's fine.
I'm okay.
Alright, so that was the Flying Fortress Daedalus. And we are heading towards the final chapter of this entry. Chapter 10, Submit or Die. Several hundred kilometers north of the snowy crash site of the Daedalus, Greater Fiend Sidonius, yeah, we haven't fought a new Greater Fiend in the meantime. Greater Fiend Sidonius has awakened to threaten a once great military state. The malevolent ruler of Flame issues an ultimatum handed down from the Infernal Priest Dagradai. We have read about the Infernal Priest Dagradai in the library of Wolf's castle, to the people of the world: accept the yoke of the almighty Archfiend or die. And so the earth's baptism by fire begins. The taunts of the Greater Fiend of Flame fill Ryu's mind.
Impudent apes! How your hubris has grown in the few short millennia we have been away.
Boy, this guy looks very devilish, doesn't he?
Have you forgotten the era when only the mercy of the Archfiend kept your lowly species alive? You ungrateful monkeys. When High Infernal Priest Dagradai resurrects and restores the Archfiend to power, you will learn your true place on this earth. On behalf of his lordship Dagradai, I deliver you an ultimatum. Submit or die.
Fun fact, the very first gameplay footage of Ninja Gaiden 2 was with Zidonius giving this speech, in fact. Granted, he gave the speech in a different environment, but still.
Repent! You are in the presence of a greater fiend! I am Zidonius, ruler of flame!
I've specifically remembered, I was in a forum of Ninja Gaiden fans back when that footage was released, and I remember one person specifically saying, this guy looks like he could eat Marbus for breakfast. So yeah, that's yeah, just goes to show the power difference, I guess. All right. So let's see. I don't have enough money to upgrade a weapon to another weapon to level 3. Yeah, because you need 20,000 for that. But I do want to show that this next environment over here. Yeah. Okay, so clearly there's a fight over here. But again, if you want, you can just skip over that fight. Yeah. I can show you how to beat this battle, and in fact I will backtrack just to show. But yeah, just yet again, Ryu is a very fast character. That means that these enemies are barely able to actually keep up with Ryu as he is just continuing over here. Only now, finally, there is a gate that stops you, so now all you're supposed to do is just defeat these enemies, and that opens up this door so you can actually continue. Still, like I said, I am going to backtrack just to actually show the fights that I skipped. But yeah, it just goes to show that there's a lot of fights you can skip, in fact, in this game. You don't have to actually do all the fights. I'm just doing all the fights just to show that you can. Huh. I guess the enemies actually despawn even if you actually... Well, I guess I'll just fight them over here then. Okay, so the thing with these mech soldiers is that they do have that move where they rise up into the sky. It does take a while for them to actually try to stomp you, which means it gives you time to just fully charge up your ultimate technique. With the Dragon Sword, the Ikaruga combo is still very much the go-to move if you are having trouble with these unit drop. Even so, if you are actually having trouble with the Ikaruga, this one, the regular X combo or the regular Y combo is still an option. It's just that they aren't as reliable as the Ikaruga is. Still, you have options. You can just use I guess the supposed lesser combos. Even so, I wouldn't say they are lesser combos so much as just combos that are not as efficient in terms of taking off a limb. Still, each of these moves you can do to beat the game. It's not like you have to use a specific move in order to actually win the game. It's just that the more you actually practice all these moves, it just gives you more tools to work with. More tools in your head, you could say. Okay, this fight you can't skip because that door over there is closed. Still, whenever you do fight these enemies, I would recommend just trying to use the Flying Swallow, because it usually does enough damage to, at the very least, weaken them enough and to defeat them with the next attack, which is just a single X attack or a Y attack, etc. Okay, but that finally opens up this thing. Okay, this big area is actually a pretty open area in terms of fights. Again, we can't really move forward because that door is going to be closed. But just gonna show here, you can wall jump up here in order to get to the upper floor. That room over there, I guess that's a store, I guess. You can also use that in order to take some stairs to get upstairs. There's multiple ways to move up and down in this place, which makes it a pretty fun area to do the fight, actually. So yeah, I'll just enter and start the fight. There we go. Yeah, so the reason there are multiple floors is because those enemies at the top, they want to snipe you with the rocket launchers and all that. Like I said, we can go into this store over here and just take these stairs in order to reach them. Or instead, the moment we entered this place, we could have also just used this place to wall jump up. So yeah, many ways to actually move up and down the floors of this area. As for my recommendation on weapon to use here, I would actually say the Falcon's Talons. Because the Falcon's Talons gives you an easy Izuna drop to quickly kill these rocket launcher enemies. Besides that, there's also the Lunar, which we have upgraded to level 3. Yeah, all those tricks with level 1 or level 2 Lunar, it still applies here, so... Yeah, so if you actually are having trouble with the regular Izuna drop, you can also just jump forward and press X 2 times and then Y. That's enough for the Lunar Staff. Because it is angled downwards, so you can actually just kind of pick up an enemy instead of having to launch them in the air. And of course, the Lunar Staff also has that little thing where if you rotate the control stick 360 and then charge with the Y, yeah, that's a different ultimate technique, which if you mash Y while doing it, it ends up with another Izuna drop. Oh yeah, and also I might as well just show this. Like, look at this mess of blood that happens because you did the Lunar Staff's whirling chains thing. Alright, so, I talked about a test with hero mode. Well, once we reach over here, there are mines, and the mines are hidden underneath the snow. This is why you are supposed to... you are supposed to kind of follow these trails, because clearly those trails would be where the mines are not. But let's just say that we reach hero mode. Will hero mode Ryu actually dodge the mines? I don't know that, so I am going to purposely get damage to reach hero mode to see if Ryu actually will dodge these hazards, in fact. Because I myself am actually kind of curious now. Sorry, Ryu, I'm doing this for science. There we go. Alright, so... he blocks it. What's interesting, he blocks the mines. Yeah, just to be clear, you cannot block the mines normally. But I guess he just decides to be able... he just decides, you know what, I will block these mines if I am in hero difficulty. It's really funny to watch Ryu hit every single mine like Sideshow Bob, stepping on every rake, yeah. But yeah, on hero difficulty, apparently, Ryu will actually block the mines if he is in hero mode. Alright, so, yeah, I healed. There we go. Here's hero mode. And he just blocks the mines. Alright, hero mode. Yeah, it keeps regenerating because I'm outside of battle. Alright, there we go. There, he just blocks the mines. That's good to know. Yeah, he actually does not get... okay, I guess the thing is that because we are actually outside of battle, that makes it so that Ryu actually heals up the temporary health. But after reaching the actual threshold, yeah, he is essentially invincible against the mines. So yeah. I guess after a certain point, you just don't actually properly heal anymore, and thus you do stay in hero mode. But yeah. This is my little test to show that hero mode does block against level hazards. So there you go. So the only thing that actually properly kills you would be a bottomless pit. Alright. After doing all that, how about I heal just a little bit? Okay, so... Nope. Come on. Just want to return back just to show. Okay, so fortunately the clue that of where the mines are, I guess those footsteps are deeper than Ryu's. So yeah, you can still just kind of follow along those trails in order to not explode. I think Ryu would appreciate that at this point. All right, so just use these as covers in order to fire against those rocket launcher enemies. Oh, sheesh. And again, just use all these trails in order to get an idea of how to move and not get hit by mines. If you did not have the crystal skulls, this would be where another crystal skull would be, which, yeah, is on the snow, which means that you're gonna have to be careful not to be hit by mines there. So, these turrets, oh. Yeah, so, it's best to deal with the mech soldier first before you actually try to attack those turrets. You might as well just kind of lead the mech soldier over here, is what I was gonna say, but... You okay there, buddy? Oh. Oh, I guess the moment you actually reach that part, it just respawns these enemies. Alright. Okay, but where's the mech soldier? Oh, there he is. Okay, well, might as well just show that this corpse over here does have a Devil's Way mushroom, which is what you use in order to regenerate Ninpo, which means you might as well just use that Ninpo, in fact. Yeah, there you go. You've dealt with the mech soldier. And thus, you'll might as well just use a Devil's Way mushroom that you already have, and then grab this one. There you go. You have full inventory again. Yeah, after dealing with the mech soldier, yeah, it only takes like a single arrow to actually destroy them. Alright, now we no longer have to actually think about those mines there. But up where one of those turrets are, yeah, there's this guy with another Devil's Way mushroom, so I think they were very much implying you should have used the Ninpo there. Okay, so this door over here, it is locked right now. But as is the case with this version of Ninja Gaiden 2, it's usually a case of defeat some enemies and suddenly the door is open. Whereas in the Xbox 360 version, that would have actually been, I think there would have been a key here, and then you would have opened it. But instead, you get a Life 1000 Gods here. It is a nice place to have a fight. Like, it's very stylish and all that. Very classical, you could say. But yeah, where we want to go is, in fact, yeah, there where I'm pointing at with the camera over there. Yeah, we want to get behind that right now. But first, we're gonna have to deal with these enemies. Let's see. Haven't used the Gurren Flail in a while. Let's... Just because the Lunar is also a flail now, I guess, let's not forget the original flail that we started off with. Also, a reminder that the Figorian Flail also has its own proper Izuna drop now. So X, Y, oh yeah, X, Y, X, come on. Of course they decide to dodge the moment I actually want to show it. There we go. In fact, if you press, if you do the Y combo, that actually ends up in the air in this one. Oh, come on. There. In which case, you can also do the Izuna drop afterwards with that. Let's see. I guess the Tonfa is also what we got from the previous, yeah, from the previous stream. So, yeah, here's the Garland drop again. Which, again, is what you use after dashing after an attack. So, that's the Heavenly Justice. So, X and then dashing would be the Heavenly Justice. And then after Heavenly Justice, just press X, Y in order to do the Garland drop. Oh, come on. There. What's interesting about the Tonfa is that it does indeed have an alternate Izuna drop, while also still having the regular Izuna drop. So that makes the Tonfa a little bit different than the Garland dropping enemies. I approve, indeed. So that is the little difference between the Tonfa compared to the Eclipse Scythe and the Kusarigama. The Eclipse Scythe and Kusarigama don't have their own actual Izuna drops. They instead have their alternative Izuna drops, in which case, yeah, which for the Eclipse Scythe that would be the River Styx drop. River Styx drop. Yeah, that would be the River Styx drop. Whereas with the Kusarigama, it would be the Shrike drop. Every other weapon has their own Izuna drops, just regular Izuna drops, but the Tonfa has the regular Izuna drop as well as its Garland drop. Yeah, they make it pretty clear with the coloring there that you're supposed to use the wall run. Even here, that you're supposed to wall run into another wall run. Oh. Come on. That's actually... Oh, come on. Okay, let's see. There we go. Alright, back in the Xbox 360 version of Ninja Gaiden 2. Let's just... yeah. So, right now, you can just head this way and grab this Life of the Gods here. But this was not open in the Xbox 360 version of Ninja Gaiden 2. Instead, you would have headed over here, and that door, which suddenly got opened because of that guy, that used to be locked. And... yeah, okay, let's just beat these enemies first. See this window over here? That was supposed to be how you navigate over to that other side over there, which would have been an actual key so that you can actually open this. And also, you can, in fact, just take a shortcut and just jump down from here. But if this is the first time you actually are here, actually take the stairs, because in one of these holes would have been a crystal skull. So do keep that in mind. But if this is a replay, as is the case with me, there's no need to actually take the stairs all the way down. You can instead just jump down like this. No. Hello, Ghostfish. But yeah, we were on the other side of that room there. Okay, so again, with the Ghostfish, my recommendation is to aggravate one of them and that will make all of them head towards you. So instead of you going towards them, you actually make them go towards you by shooting an arrow at one, and then start using the flails before they actually arrive. Nope. Question for the chat. What's your opinion on this game so far? Oh boy, I forgot that there were more here. All right. Oh. All right, so there's a train over here, which decided to close right now. So I guess, yeah, you can. Oh no, I don't think you can actually skip this fight because, yeah, the door over there would have been locked. Okay, so before I actually do the fight proper, first of all, there's an item over here, an herb of spiritual life. Might as well also give a little reminder that the Vigorian Flail, its ultimate technique, you can make it more powerful by mashing Y during it. Yeah, like this whole combo extender happens if you actually do so. I've said this before, these games seem cool but intimidating, but streams like this help make the game seem more possible to get into. Yeah, again, I would say that hero difficulty is probably very much accessible, actually, in this entire trilogy is very accessible when you are playing on hero difficulty. Okay, so where we're supposed to go is that way, but I did talk about that train because the train decided to open the moment we finished that fight over here. So we are missing some references here in this version. Okay, first of all, well, apparently these Black Spire Ninjas were not kind to the people in this train. There is, however, this guy over here. Okay, so what's the case with this guy? Actually, nothing, but so it's more so who he replaced, you could say. In the Xbox 360 version of Ninja Gaiden 2, there would have been a different person here, and it's someone that we actually did not meet in Ninja Gaiden for Beginners. The reason for that is that in Ninja Gaiden Black, not Ninja Gaiden Sigma, but Ninja Gaiden Black, when we fought against the motorcycle guys, in Ninja Gaiden Black there was a different event going on. There would have been a bouncer at Han's bar, and he decided... he told Ryu, hey, I'm sorry, I won't let you in without a ticket. And Ryu somehow was nice enough to say, okay, I guess this guy's just doing his job. I'm not going to kill him or anything. I'm just gonna actually try to get a ticket. So yeah, that's the whole thing. They removed all that in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, so I guess because you never actually meet him in Ninja Gaiden Sigma versions of the game, you would not actually get understand the reference to the bouncer anyway. But either way, this is where the bouncer would have been, so that would have been a little reference that I guess we have lost now. So yeah, might as well just point out that they removed a certain character, that a certain background character that I guess met his end here. There's also, I pointed out at the door was locked in Ninja Gaiden, the Xbox 360 version of Ninja Gaiden 2, and this guy in particular seemed very special. Well, that's because he would have had a key card that you would have actually had to use in order to actually open up the door. Now, he just leaves behind a Jewel of Demon Seal instead. So, yeah, my recommendation is to upgrade the Art of the Flame Phoenix last. So, yeah. We have already fully upgraded the Wind Blades, we have already fully upgraded the Piercing Void, so might as well just upgrade the Art of the Inferno. And thus, essentially, the 3 ninpos that I personally do use are fully upgraded. If you actually do think the Flame Phoenix is more useful because you are having trouble with the defense, I'll go ahead and upgrade the Art of the Flame Phoenix instead. But for me, I personally stick to these 3, and thus I actually upgrade these 3 first. In particular, I upgrade of the wind blades first, because its use really shines the moment it is at level 3 rather than level 1 and 2. At level 1 and 2, it's essentially a weaker version of either the Piercing Void or the Art of the Inferno, whereas at level 3, it actually is its own use. Okay, so there is this other room on the other side here. Do note that there's, yeah, it's like a flooded area over there. So back in chapter 3, we fought against a King Kong kind of enemy, Godomos. Let's just say I guess this is a relative of Godomos? A Godomorph, I guess. It's funny how it actually has a different name than the other one. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Alright, so, back in chapter 3, I recommended to use the Dragon Sword with the Ikaruga combo, this one. I will, however, show the Dragon's Claw Tiger's Fang, because I did say when we first got the Dragon's Claw Tiger's Fang that this is also kind of a boss killer. Well, how about I actually demonstrate that? So, the reason it is kind of a boss killer is it's easy to keep doing it again and again, and to cancel it with a block once an enemy attacks in between. So you can just keep doing it again and again and again. You also have some invincibility frames while Ryu is doing the spinning, in fact. So yeah, this is why I said that sorry, what was the name of this attack again? Forward Y hold. Purgatory Slash. Yeah, so Purgatory Slash. There. I always knew spinning was a good trick, indeed. And then afterwards you can just use the obliteration technique. So yeah, that's it for Godomorph. Okay, I guess I did not actually do the whole thing of study the boss first, but then again, this is just a copy of the boss of chapter 3 anyway, so if you actually did the studying of him, you would have gotten that already. Yeah, as for the mech soldiers, pretty much the same thing that I did last time. Come on. Sheesh. All right. All right, well, at least it dies. It didn't... It decided not to actually lose a limb all this time, but I guess eventually the damage builds up to it reaching 0 health. But yeah, sometimes the RNG gods just are not in your favor, it turns out. There we go, that's more like it. There you are. Yeah, when it comes to ranged enemies, just use the Flying Swallow to just quickly close the distance, like that.
Your path is one of sound and fury, ultimately signifying nothing.
So Sidonius knows Shakespeare.
Survive the purgatory of my flames, not even those of the dragon lineage. All that remains is a memory of fire. Endlessly repeating again and again.
I mean, I guess he is dramatic enough to know Shakespeare. Kind of makes sense for him to know Shakespeare, really. Which, considering how much of an ancient being he is, that means that he actually witnessed Shakespeare in his time and might have actually... Either that or Shakespeare actually learned from Sidonius. That would also be kind of fascinating, really. Anyway, here's some more lore. The rule of the King of Darkness, alright? In the early 20th century, a ruler popularly known as the King of Darkness came into power. His reign began after an unlikely series of events. All other heirs to the throne perished suspiciously within the span of a few years. Throughout his rule, the King of Darkness kept at his side a strange giant with a face veiled in purple. Interesting. The giant's bizarre voice filled the king's head, and in time the king came to worship the statue of a demonic being he called Vazda. Interesting. During the King of Darkness' reign, strange creatures called fiends descended upon the land, devouring any humans they found. The insane king sat on his throne, elated as he watched his country collapse. His horror was finally ended when the King of Darkness and his colossal companion were assassinated by a black-robed master. This warrior in black, a stranger from a foreign land, is remembered as a courageous hero, but his identity is a mystery lost to the annals of history. It is very much implied here that this black-robed master is an ancestor of Ryu, in fact. So either this is an ancestor of Ryu, or this might just literally be Joe Hayabusa himself. Who knows? It is the 20th century. It's kind of possible. Who knows? A mere 2 weeks after the assassination of the King of Darkness, or maybe the father of Joe Hayabusa, who knows? A mere 2 weeks after the assassination of the King of Darkness, the general marched the remaining forces to the capital and announced that he would forge a new government in the ruins of the city. Warlords still held power over small provinces scattered throughout the land, and it was several months before they could be subdued, but it was here that the general formed the first modern military superpower. I guess, now that I think about it, it's 20th century, not 21st century. So yeah, that might actually be an ancestor then, knowing that it's like hundreds of years earlier. So yeah. All right, here's the ghost fish again. I just realized I just had the wrong weapon, but you know what? Just goes to show that even though the Figorian Flail is probably still the most useful against the Ghost Fish, it's not a hard rule to actually use the Figorian Flail. Most weapons would still kind of work out with this trick that I kept explaining. So yeah, use the bow and arrow. There. See? Still kind of works with other weapons. There's Life of the Gods. I think the only few weapons that might be a little bit iffy to do this would be heavier weapons like the Enma's Fang. Like, it has a lot of recovery frames, so it's probably not the best to actually use the Enma's Fang. Still, it's not like it's impossible to do it with the Enma's Fang. In fact, the Enma's Fang actually has this ultimate technique, which might be a good way to actually get rid of the Ghost Fish. So, yeah, there are always several ways to do things. Okay, so remember when I pointed out the water thing? Well, this is yeah, we have reached the other side. There's the train station on the other side there. Okay, and do remember Ryu can run on water. I don't know how he trained to do that, but he can. So make use of that to quickly cross over from one, I guess, island to another, I guess. Also, yeah, when it comes to all these projectile enemies, the Falcon Talons is still pretty much a very good choice because of its Izuna drop thing, the Flying Swallow to Izuna drop combo. Who needs a ladder? By the way, these walls, they're just already blown up, but it used to be something that you did because you used the Incendiary Shurikens, but they removed the Incendiary Shurikens, so they just made it already blown up, I guess, the moment you got here. And this door over here in Xbox 360 version, it would have been opened and would have led to a Test of Valor. So why did I switch over to the Lunar Staff? Well, first of all, because I should use the Lunar Staff more often anyway. But this is yet again another moment where if you know that enemies are coming, you might as well just charge up an old technique in advance. So, yeah, I'll just trigger them here. And again, the advantage of the 360 ultimate technique of the Lunar Staff is that it will continue whether you actually hit an enemy with the first strike or not. Whereas with other ultimate technique, you actually have to hit with the first one in order to actually have the whole auto combo afterwards. Because here, notice that I will use it against nothing, and there you go. It's just that one first attack, and then it just ends there. Whereas with the Lunar Staff, just doing the 360 Y attack, there. It will continue either whether you hit an enemy with it or not, which is pretty useful to hit multiple enemies with that. There's also the Eclipse Sight you could have used in that regard. Okay, so we've already fully upgraded the Eclipse Sight, we fully upgraded the Kusarigama, we fully upgraded the Lunar Staff. Okay, here's what I would say does not necessitate a level 3 upgrade, at least at its earliest. I would say the Falcon Talons does not need level 3, not because it is not useful at level 3, it's more so that it's already so useful at level 2, you might as well just properly upgrade the other weapons. Again, unless you actually do think, yeah, I'm just gonna main the Falcon Talons. Okay, in that case, just go ahead and level up the Falcon Talons to level 3. I would also say, Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, if possible, hold off on upgrading it, actually, or hold off on upgrading it to level 3, because there's going to be a moment where you essentially get level 4 Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang for free, in fact. So, keep that in mind. That's a that's a little trick you can do. Either that, or if you do think, yeah, I'm gonna main the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, I do want it to be at its most powerful at any time, then go ahead and fully upgrade to level 3. But yeah, I would say these two, the Falcon's Talons and the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, they are the least necessary to be at level 3. I would say that these four, they would be yeah, Dragon Sword, Figurin Flail, Adam's Fang, and Tonfa, they would be like, I guess tier 2 in terms of importance to being leveled up to level 3. Whereas Eclipse Scythe, Kusarigama, and Lunar, they are the most necessary to reach level 3, because they really are at their most useful at level 3, way over the level 2 versions. So that's my personal opinion on this. I'm not gonna say this is like the opinion that you should have. That's just my recommendation and all that. So either way, I will level up the Dragon Sword to level 3, because it is essentially my main weapon anyway. So now that we have fully upgraded the Eclipse Scythe and the Kusarigama and Lunar Staff, now I'm just gonna go for a Dragon Sword, because that is what I favor. So why would you want the Dragon Sword at level 3 to begin with? Well, funny little lore thing, actually. The Dragon Tier combo. This is what you get from level 3. But the interesting thing is, it's this combo. This combo, which in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, or Ninja Gaiden 1, this necessitated the true Dragon Sword. But Ryu is now able to do that at level 3, which goes to show that Ryu is essentially powerful enough to, at the very least, be relatively equal to him with the true Dragon Sword in Ninja Gaiden Sigma now. So, I think from a lore perspective, I do like how this is actually just something that he can just learn without the true Dragon Sword, in fact. So yeah, just a cool little lore thing. Yeah, so this whole thing is very Castlevania-like here, being inside a clock tower. Yeah, so do be careful not to fall here. This is very much a platforming section with fighting. granted, compared to the Xbox 360 version of Ninja Gaiden 2, that had like, oh, oh boy, well, that goes to show what happens if you actually do get stuck in the cogs there. In fact, you can just kind of hit him in the cogs. There you go. There you go. So yeah, that's a fun thing you can do in this chapter. Oh no, oh no. Whoa. Okay, so with Yogenta's notebook, we did hear something about Koshimaru and the Inner Eye. Well, funny enough, we actually are going to read something more about Koshimaru of the Inner Eye. Yeah, we all keep learning more about these wacky Black Spire ninjas here. So first of all, here's the diary of this guy. Izo's notebook. I can't, okay, 228. I can't help but laugh myself writing in this stupid little notebook. 317. No dear diary for me. Look, I haven't even updated this thing, so it's kind of funny how it's almost like they are recommended in the Black Spire Ninjas to actually write diaries and all that. But yeah, I guess Izo is not that much of a fan of it. 320. I locked eyes for a minute with Master Genshin. Takes guts just to look at the guy. I don't know what his deal is, but there's definitely more to him that meets the eye. He gets this smile like he's been to hell and back and sent a postcard while he was there. I hope I'm that badass someday. I love Izo because of his language. His language is so not traditional for a ninja. He's like a I don't know if I should call him a frat boy, but he just he doesn't sound like the traditional kind of ninja, is what I'm saying. 47. Man, this Daedalus sure is a piece of work. I mean, I know that the Black Spire clan has its act together, but still, finding a heavy weapons factory to build this big-ass thing must have been tough. They say they used the profits from the previous master's smuggling operation. Wasn't a big fan of the guy, to be honest. Never seemed like much of a ninja to me. If you actually have watched my stream where I read the diaries of the Black Spire ninjas, yeah, the previous master was not Genshin. The previous master was someone that actually wanted the Dark Dragon Blade to grind it up into tea, because these Black Spire ninjas are wacky people, man. But yeah, so I guess the original master had smuggling operations, and he had profits enough to actually make the Daedalus. So there you go. I guess sometimes the goal to grind the Dark Dragon Blade into tea might work out, at least financially, at least. Anyway, 415. I found Koshimaru's notebook. I know, I'm not supposed to read it, but I did anyway. Hey, can you blame me? At least now I know what he's really thinking. I mean, he even mentions me by name. Can you believe it? Who is he, my third grade teacher? Well, screw you, mister. I know everything because I got the Inner Eye Koshimaru. Anyway, I guess I better give this back to him. No, sir, I didn't read it. Not a single page. Ha! Joke's on him. I love this guy. 419. Sounds like Master Genshin has some history with that big bad dragon ninja and his family. Apparently, some guy named Murai killed Master Genshin's little brother. Hey, look, I'm writing in my diary. Well, what do you know? What's gotten into me, I wonder? I know, I'm gonna die soon, is that it? Haha, yeah, right. Well, he's dead now. Anyway, so, Master Genshin's little brother. That's Gamoth. In Ninja Gaiden Sigma, we fought that guy with a trench coat, shooting with his dual pistols and all that. Or at least we fought against him as Rachel. But yeah, Gamoth is the little brother of Genshin, in fact. And yeah, when Murai killed Master Genshin's little brother, yes, Murai did decide, well, I'm not gonna Gamoth's not that useful anymore, I'm just gonna kill him with the Dark Dragon Blade right now. So yeah, there you go. But that does make it so that Gamoth is to Genshin like what Kureha is to Ryu. So that's kind of an interesting way to mirror Genshin's story with Ryu's story. So there you go. Anyway, he did say that he had Koshimaru's diary. Well, Koshimaru's diary is over here, in fact. Koshimaru's notebook 1. So yeah, we're gonna get a different part of Koshimaru's notebook later. March the 15th. The youth of today know nothing of the true ninja way. It is truly a deplorable state of affairs, as my comrades have seen fit to bestow upon me the title Koshimaru of the Inner Eye. I have vowed to uphold the way of the warrior and serve as a bastion for those who wish to learn the true path ninja. My insight tells me this: the youth of our clan have no true spirit. They believe themselves skilled because they can perform a few tricks. Such arrogance will be their downfall. Without spirit, there can be no dedication. I see no path for these young ones that lead to growth and maturation. All right. No wonder Izo had that attitude against Koshimaru, really. All right. March the 16th. I shall keep these writings in the hope that one day I may leave behind a scroll of wisdom for future generations. Well, someone is very high and mighty, isn't he? March the 29th. The youth are too quick to embrace the path of evil. Look at Izo. there you go. He actually mentions Izo by name there. Look at Izo. Barely a man, yet he swaggers about as though he's a master of darkness. This is precisely because the youth do not know true brutality. They are able to think that the path of evil is somehow fashionable. Those who appear evil do so because they truly understand the horrors that this world has to offer. On the name of our Black Spider clan, I pray that our youth do not believe that the way of darkness is the easier path. April 13th. Inukoma, you are wrong, my friend. If you possessed an inner eye like I do, you too would see the truth as though it were lying in the palm of your hands. Master Genshin is human, just like the rest of us. He has a soul, and thus, he experiences fear. You must understand that to achieve mighty goals, it is sometimes necessary to sell one's soul. Clearly, this is what Master Genshin is doing. Yet I dread the lurid scent emanating from the female dressed in red. I fear that even Master Genshin may be vulnerable to its spell. Yeah, so, even though Koshimaru is, apparently, he doesn't agree much with Genshin working with Elizabeth, still, he is the loyal kind, so there you go. But yeah, Inukoma, we actually did read his diary. Let's see. Oh wait, Inukoma. Yeah. So yeah, this Inukoma is the guy that found Hachijuro on the ground after suffering a grievous injury, and then gave him the last last herb of spiritual life, which eventually ended up with Inukoma dying because of a rogue fiend attack. So yeah, that's yeah, being punished for a good deed, you could say. That's unfortunate. Yeah, like I said, this is essentially a kind of platforming section of this chapter, which will lead to the boss. Yeah, I guess the boss to end today's stream, in fact. And I guess we have seen Sidonius a lot. It only makes sense for him to be the boss, you could say. And like with every greater fiend, with every greater fiend, I do choose to use the Dragon Sword. Not because it is the most useful weapon to use, but more so because it is best to, at the very least, learn to use the Dragon Sword, because it is the balanced weapon to use most of all. If I really want to quickly kill Sidonius, I actually would use the Eclipse Scythes. Yeah, this move of the Eclipse Scythe, in fact. So this would be a very useful move to use against Sidonius. But again, I want to actually use the Dragon Sword in order to actually properly show Sidonius's patterns and all that. So let's go.
For the one who first bestowed the precious gift of fire upon you pitiful apes, was none other than I, Zedonius, ruler of flame.
That wasn't in my history book.
You are ignorant in the ways of the world as an infant in its cradle, ninja. Without my fire, the petty dreams of your species would never have taken flight. Yet your ancestors in the dragon lineage tried to extinguish that flame. Do you not think that foolish?
I don't care.
Then let the fires of hell consume the last descendant of the hated dragon lineage.
Okay, so the thing with Sidonius is when he is in the air like that, like, it is possible to jump towards him and try to attack him, especially if you actually, I might as well just show it at least. If he is in the air, you might as well just use attacks like the Eclipse Scythe in order to... Okay, let's just wait until he actually gets in the air. Yeah, there. yeah, you can use attacks like that in order to try to hit him. But honestly, I do recommend to just wait for him to end up on the ground. Because when he is on the ground, many of his moves, it does take him, yeah, he does have to charge a bit before the move actually comes out, unless you are actually close to him. If you are close to him, come on. Oh, even that takes a little bit of a charge. Yeah, that's a grab move, so do be careful about that. Okay, if he is in the air though, he's gonna do a stomp attack, which adds a shockwave as well. My recommendation is actually to use the wind run, which, just as a reminder, the wind run is pressing X and A at the same time. Because yeah, you will jump with after images, but not only do you jump with after images, you actually get some invincibility frames as a result, and you will also jump towards him that way. So yeah, my recommendation is that once you notice him going up in the air to do the stomp, that is when you do the wind run right as he does the stomp, and most of the time you will dodge the attack, both the stomp and shockwave at the same time that way. So yeah, okay, let's just see if he does it again so I can actually try to show that. Yeah, it's this move, the wind run over here. Oh, again, that one also necessitates a little bit of a charge, but yeah, most of his quicker attacks, they only happen if you actually are close to him. Even so, he keeps doing the grab move. Come on, buddy. Well, at the very least, it does show that... Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah. So those attacks are a little bit faster, but most of his attacks, they do necessitate a bit of a moment for him to properly charge it first. But yeah, I just missed the opportunity to... Oh, okay. Let's see if he does a stomp. There we go. There, see? So I used the wind run just as he did the stomp, and that makes it so that the invincibility frames makes me pass through the shockwave as well as the stomp itself. Let's see if he does it again so I can show that again, because that tends to be the attack that a lot of people have trouble dodging. There you go. There. It takes some timing, but the moment you get the timing down, you just notice that the camera kind of moves, or he moves high enough to be outside of the camera. That's essentially your... that's the sign that you need in order to know, okay, he's about to do the stomp, and that's when you do the wind run in order to jump over the shockwave. As for all these other attacks, most of the time just running around him in circles kind of helps anyway. There, okay. So, come on. Ooh, yeah. Ah, dang. Okay, there I mistimed a bit, but still. That's the general idea of how to dodge that one. But now that we have set that up, so with his moves, either you try to attack him while he is charging those attacks, or right after those attacks. Oh, I guess I am gonna do this in hero mode. In fact, in hero mode, I might as well just show how powerful hero mode is. Yeah, when you are in hero mode, you don't even have to actually properly dodge at things anymore. Just start mashing Y attack, really. There's nothing you can do about it.
Sensation.
Righteous flames will cleanse the earth of your kind.
I'm burning. Burning.
I guess we had the chapter of Rachel doing the superhero landing. I guess it's only fair to end this with Ryu doing a superhero landing. So yeah, that's the last chapter for this session, but I might as well just give a little sneak peek to the next chapter, which is chapter 11, Night in the City of Water. A young ninja glides into the City of Water, utterly silent amidst its ever-flickering lights, cunningly evading the traps laid for her. She is a kunoichi, a female ninja, dedicated to recovering a treasure of the dragon lineage from the fiends who stole it. Bathed in the moonlight, a deadly beauty races towards her final battle. Okay, first of all, it's not her final battle, but yeah, let's see who this this beautiful kunoichi could be, you know. But yeah, I am going to switch over to the just chatting here, and I'm going to see who I can raid right now. Let's see. Let's see if I can get someone that's actually kind of fitting. Okay. My options are kind of limited right now, but okay. So let's just say, there's been a lack of stealth in this ninja game, isn't there? Well, let's just let's try seeing what stealth actually is by watching Poison and V play Mecha Chameleon. So yeah, that's my reasoning for why we're going to rate Poison E and V now. So yeah, with that in mind, let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to end this stream now. So remember, if you strive to be better than enemies, be better for your friends, and better yourself. Take care and see ya.